based on the information that we currently have, no one is reported missing. So 0 persons are reporting missing. 4 of the 25 will have been discharged from the hospital. Let me just say, as it relates to what happened last night, as far as we are aware, I'm not aware of any incident of this kind that has taken place at any one of our special events, either on the county side, on the city side, pretty much in the last, I would imagine the last 40 years, where anybody has lost life. Now, we've had events where there may have been a crowd rush, or somebody had to be ejected, or maybe somebody has been injured, but nothing of this magnitude that any of us can recall, and certainly that I can recall, that is taking place in this city. This incident is being thoroughly investigated and reviewed thoroughly. It is important for us to ascertain from last night what took place, what happened, where missteps may have occurred, and in so doing, there have been conversations with, for example, representatives of Live Nation. We'll continue to talk to Travis Scott's people. We'll talk to as many witnesses as we can who were present last night. We are talking with individuals who have been hospitalized to try to get a much better understanding of what took place, what went wrong, where were the missteps. Certainly, HPD and other law enforcement organizations will be looking at as much of. As you know, NRG is a county facility. This is where this incident occurred, but it has also occurred inside the city of Houston. So we'll look in depth at the collaboration between the two entities. In terms of personnel, and Chief Fenner can go into this even more, but let me just say preliminarily, we know that there were about 528 HPD officers that provided security for the event, and an additional 755 persons representing private security that Live Nation had that was providing security at this particular facility. So there are a lot of, let me just say, not anything else was involved. All of those things are being looked at, but it is way too preliminary now to draw any conclusions. But we're not taking anything off the table. This remains and will be a very active investigation. So with that being said, let me yield now temporarily to Judge Lena Hidalgo.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. And to all of the law enforcement professionals who have been part of a swift response. Thank you to them and to all the Good Samaritans, because we know that it could have been much worse if so many people hadn't stepped in. The events of last night were tragic beyond belief. This is an artist that we know has a following amongst young people, in particular, young people with bright futures. Those were the people that were at the event, went to have a good time, and no one, no parent, no friend, no sibling should see their loved one off to a concert by a world-renowned artist and not be able to expect them to come home safely. And when we read these ages, 14, 16, 21, 21, 23, 23, 27, just breaks your heart. And I know that the images we've seen are hard to stomach, and I imagine more will surface that are hard to stomach. Since late last night, I've been on the scene. I spent time at the Reunification Center talking to families, hearing their anguish. Those that didn't know where their loved ones were, sometimes it's harder not to know. And so I appreciate everybody's work and collaboration, trying to identify everyone. Our primary focus has been to support the city of Houston, to support the Houston Police Department, the Houston Fire Department, as they were providing the security for the event, as we were helping and leading the response. We have been at
How's the sound? It should be good now. Okay, that's what I thought. It's when I leave the cam. But I'm here now.
Working as as quickly as they can.
We're going to unpack this when she's done.
So that they can release the bodies to the families and get some answers as to ultimately the cause of these deaths. Throughout the morning, I and my team have also been on the phone with all of the relevant county agencies, trying to untangle as much as we can.
Yeah, I'm back.
What may have led to this. The roles in particular that Live Nation, that the city of Houston, and that Harris County had in any of this.
Yeah.
It may well be that this tragedy is a result of unpredictable events, of circumstances coming together that couldn't possibly have been avoided. But until we determine that, I will ask the tough questions, and that's what I've spent the morning doing.
She's a judge, if I remember correctly.
Is that Live Nation and Astroworld put together plans for this event, a security plan, a site plan, that they were at the table with City of Houston and Harris County, with City of Houston agencies and with Harris County's Energy Park. And so perhaps the plans were inadequate. Perhaps the plans were good, but they weren't followed. Perhaps it was something else entirely.
They don't have any answers at this point.
Who died and everybody affected deserve answers
Yes.
as to what took place last night. And that's why I'm calling for an objective,
sounds like it, right?
Independent investigation as to what went on, and how it could have been prevented, or if this was a particular situation that was simply out of everybody's hands. And I have directed county agencies to, as soon as we get that underway, cooperate, and I expect and hope the same for everybody else involved. As you all are aware, there was a similar incident in 2019 with Astroworld. There was a breaching of barricades. There were some issues with crowd control.
Our girl Alondra told us all about that last night.
After that experience, there was stronger fencing, more and more robust barricades, more
Superstar Graham said that's a lie.
Personnel. You guys heard the increase in the officers. 2019 had 47 HPD officers. 2021 had 76 Houston Police Department officers. There was an increase in terms of private security, an increase in terms of event security.
Okay.
There was additional space for crowd control. But I want to know, and the community deserves to know, if more needed to have been done. So we'll focus on objectively finding out and reporting what happened, how it could have been prevented. And the public has a role here too. If you have any information as to what took place, let us know. Let the Houston Police Department know. Rumors, as the mayor said, that's not what we need. But there are some serious questions that need to be asked. So to the families, our hearts go out on behalf of Harris County. Our hearts go out to you. And just know that we won't give up on asking the tough questions about what exactly took place here. I'll repeat remarks in Spanish after everybody speaks. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Two things I do want to acknowledge and offer my condolences to all of the families who lost loved ones, and to those family members who were injured. So I do want to do that. Number one, I want to offer our condolences and our prayers to them.
It's so
Secondly,
weird.
I do want to acknowledge the quick response of the Houston Fire Department EMS unit. They had units that were already stationed around NRG Stadium, and they were able to step in immediately when reports of incident occurred. So to Chief Pena, to his entire team, to HFD, to EMS, I do want to acknowledge their very quick response. And then from the moment, for example, the reports were made known in terms of people falling, injured, and let's say roughly at about 9:30, this event came to an end at 10 minutes after 10 is when everything stopped. And people were in between, either seen on the site or they were transported to area hospitals. So I do want to acknowledge the very quick response of EMS units and the fact that this event did come to an end at 10:10. And we do want a very would be nonstop
Right.
in terms of the review of this particular matter. Now, Chief, up that.
Okay.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
All right.
Mayor said it. We want to send condolences to the family.
Yeah.
Nobody, as everybody's hurting, our police department, our fire department, all our citizens, nobody's hurting more than the family members.
That's right.
And our prayers go out to them. And I ask the whole nation, because I know it's other news media, not just local, to pray for the family.
Definitely.
I want to go over a few things.
Okay.
Last night I put out some numbers.
Okay.
In terms of security.
All right.
Police officers and private security. I gave a number of 367 police officers.
Okay.
That number was the number that we had assigned for the evening shift.
Oh, okay.
We actually had 528
Mm-hmm.
because we held over day shift officers.
Okay.
Live Nation has just reported to us that they had 755 security officers.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of security out there. But as everyone is saying, we leave no stones unturned. This has not happened to us ever in Houston since I've been a police officer.
Well.
And we take pride of it. And we're going to get down to the bottom. A lot of narratives out there right now.
Yes.
A lot of them on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And even last night.
A lot of rumors.
I think that all of us need to be respectful of families.
Yeah.
And make sure that we follow the facts and the evidence. And that's what we're trying to do here in the Houston Police Department.
Okay.
I will tell you, one of the narratives was that some individual was injected other people with drugs.
Yes.
We do have a report of a security officer, according to the medical staff that was out and treated him last night.
Okay.
That he was reaching over to restrain or grab a citizen.
Okay.
He felt a prick in his neck. When he was examined, he went unconscious. They administered Narcan.
Right.
He was revived, and the medical staff did notice a prick that was similar to a prick that you would get if somebody's trying to inject. That is one.
That's just one incident. Yeah. I got you.
Thing that's very important.
Okay.
There were some individuals that were trampled.
Okay.
We want to be respectful of that.
Yes.
So we just ask that y'all give us time to do a proper investigation. Live Nation has stated from the very beginning that they would cooperate. They're going to give us the video sometime this evening. I spoke to my commander in homicide. So we're waiting to get that. That's going to help.
Well, we saw them trampled last night.
To the community. Kids and young individuals that was out there.
Yeah.
If you see something, say something.
Right.
This is now a criminal investigation.
Told y'all.
That's going to involve our homicide
Told you.
division as well as narcotics.
Yep.
And we're going to get down to the bottom of it.
Told you.
I just want to thank
watch the video
and everybody else out there. There was cooperation. I also want to say thanks to our police officers.
Yes.
A lot of them administered CPR.
My goodness.
Executive Chief Larry Satterwhite was out there. And something that was important, and the mayor just said it, but I want to hit it again.
Okay.
9:30, right there.
Right.
That's when a few people started going down.
Right.
Our people stepped up and immediately went to the producer
of the victims. This is an unimaginable
Frozen. Okay.
tragedy that they are.
I don't know why. Okay, there it is.
It's because of that we're committed to work with our partners, the police department, and everybody else involved, ensuring that this is a complete and full investigation into the cause of this tragedy.
Okay. You should be good now. Thumbs up.
The Houston Fire Department, we're going to be looking into the permits that were issued and ensuring that the plan that was submitted was adhered to.
Thank you.
The event. This is going to be part of the investigation. Our commitment is to ensure that we are turning every stone, as was mentioned here earlier. About
Right. Right.
To ensure that we get to the bottom of this issue.
Right.
The Houston Fire Department, we had a very robust contingency and emergency response plan.
Right.
The primary medical component was delivered by a third-party medical company. The security was the same. It was a third-party company that was delivering.
They said, "Don't at us. It was not our fault."
In spite of that, we did have units that were pre-positioned from the Houston Fire Department to ensure that we were monitoring the progress and the event.
Right.
from the time, as Mayor mentioned, from the time that the incident started to escalate around 9:30, we requested additional resources to the scene to augment those that were already pre-positioned around
in their places. Okay.
And this is important. Even though the plan for that, we had pre-positioned units around the venue in case this incident escalated.
That's all I hear. Trash can waves.
The casualty incident was declared.
Mm-hmm.
The first unit on scene was 2 minutes.
Of course.
When we began to make patient contact, that is an incredible response, and look, that can't go unnoticed. As far as the planning,
hey Tanya,
here in the city of Houston, take these events very seriously. Public safety is our primary concern.
Okay.
The mayor has tasked us with ensuring that we have the resources and the plans and the contingencies.
What is she doing in the back with the ladder? Girl. She said, "This is my moment."
I believe we had a robust plan to
hey Vaughn
for a non-event.
Okay.
Certainly, the level of injuries, the number of people in that venue, quickly overwhelmed the third-party vendors that were providing the security and the medical component. We quickly were able to respond. In regards to the layout,
exactly.
There is no occupancy permit for an outdoor event.
Wow, we said that.
What the calculation for the footprint that was going to be used for the event?
50,000.
We applied the assembly occupancy, the fire code.
You can't hear me talking? Oh well.
Formula.
I'm talking too.
Over 200,000 people in this venue.
I don't know why.
That's just based on math. This venue was limited to 50,000 in that component. Part of when we have large events, one of the things that we consider is to ensure that the crowds are subdivided. They had two.
Oh, okay. I was curious to say. I was literally about to say trash can waves. Can you hear me? Blind guy, can you hear me? Because I'm like, wait a minute. Girl.
And out of that venue were maintained open and unobstructed.
Okay. Thank you.
These injuries did not occur as people tried to exit the venue.
Okay.
And that was evident by the fact that once the event was terminated, that whole footprint was cleared out within the hour.
Okay.
So the means of egress, the exits, the doors were open, unobstructed.
Okay.
That was, our assurance.
Okay.
What we're looking into is what caused the crowd surge, what led to the crowd surge, and those incidents.
Okay.
At the point of the
ending.
When the concert was being at the stage.
Right.
So, again, our role in this is to participate with the police department. We are going to be looking at the films and the video as Chief Finner mentioned, and we're going to ensure that the items that should have been in place were in place, and that we learned.
Boy, they tap dancing, aren't they? Whew.
The permits that were issued for this.
Okay.
For LPG.
Okay.
And we had inspectors there to monitor that.
Okay.
We had a permit for the pyrotechnics.
We were wondering.
Inspectors were on scene for that.
Okay.
We had a permit for tents that were erected in the venue.
They tore that down.
Inspectors for that.
Okay.
And we had inspectors for the permits for the means of egress to maintain the means.
Right. The doors. Yeah. Windows. Yeah.
Open and unobstructed.
That's right.
Inspectors for that.
Okay.
But again, we're going to be looking at the entire incident to ensure that that we're doing the right thing.
Listen, they covering all bases. Trash can waves. They leaving no tone unturned. Listen.
Muy brevemente en español.
Okay.
Agradecerle primero al alcalde, el jefe de policías, jefe de bomberos, tantos policías y bomberos que respondieron de una manera inmediata y los buenos samaritanos.
All right. So
no cabe duda.
I'm gonna stop sharing this for now, and we're gonna get into. I'm gonna mute her for a little bit. I will check back as I did last night. No disrespect, but you know, this is a English speaking channel. I'm not gonna do that. Oh well, phone gone. Anyway, welcome y'all. Hey, it's me live, catch it up, updating you guys as promised. If you haven't already, make sure you tune in into live breaking news from last night, early this morning. That's right. You know, Lauren, Melissa, Trash Can Waves, people that were there joined in our live. The chat last night was just awesome. You guys leave a comment down below if you were in the chat. We got new family members as a result. But not only that, when I first started the live last night, there were so many unanswered questions because I heard rumors, but no news outlet was covering this story. So I was like, should I cover it? Should I not? So I just said, well, you know what, let me jump on live and we'll unpack it together. And that's exactly what happened. As we were unpacking it, we're getting videos from Twitter. We're getting videos from all over the place. But then finally, Houston PD was like, they did a press conference. And so we unpacked that. So if you have not checked that out, make sure you check out the live. But stay here. Stay here. Let me check and see if she's still talking. She's still talking, which is fine. How are y'all doing this fine Saturday evening, afternoon? We see what's going on. This is the update. I wanted to come and just kind of update you guys. Travis Scott did a, what's it called? He made a statement. The mayor made a statement. And as you can see, we went live and the police chief and everyone had their comments. So before we get started, welcome everyone. Trashcan said, and Melissa was the top of the YouTube searches for this breaking news. I didn't know that. You know what, Trashcan Waves? It was so late and I felt so bad. Y'all know I feel so bad when I can't come on camera. And I was actually just out and about and I got a notification like, oh, you know, this news conference is about to happen. So I was already dropping my mom off and I was like, I got to go. And so I ran home. And do y'all know, as soon as I pulled up, I ran upstairs, ran in the studio. That's why I was kind of crazy because I had to set up the mic and everything. So yes, I love what I do. And y'all, hopefully you see it in my work. So let's get into I'm gonna get, that's right, Trash Can Waves. This is a commentary video. I'm gonna talk like I'm the person at church that talks along with the preacher, okay? So you know I'm gonna do it on my platform when there is a news conference that doesn't even involve me, okay? I'm gonna talk with them. So what have we learned so far? All right, the judge, if I remember correctly, they said she's a judge, right? Yeah, that's what I heard. So anyway, let's see what Travis Scott, well, first of all, Kylie, his baby's mother, the mother of his children, I should say, was taking heat last night and into today because she was pretty much posting on social media as the concert was going and people were saying how tone deaf both Travis Scott and Kylie were. And they were like, listen, did they not see what was going on? And so she was getting flack for that. Travis Scott got a little bit of grace because apparently as he was doing his set, he would stop and go, hey, that person don't look right. Go tend to that person. So they said even throughout his set, allegedly, let me go find Miss Allegedly. Y'all already know. As he was doing his set, he was stopping and saying, hey, that person doesn't look right. That person doesn't look like right. As we just heard from the updated news conference, even from the news conference from last night, there's a lot of rumors swirling. But one thing that I got from out of here, listen, there is some truths to this, to the fact that people probably have been injected with something that they had to counteract because they passed out. That is what was being reported last night. Just oddly, people just kind of zombie apocalyptic falling out, okay? The police chief confirmed it. Now, he only said one person. That only happened to one person. But this is an ongoing investigation, as I reported yesterday. Again, just what in the world? I know. And this is why I stopped listening to this kind of music a long time ago. It seemed very demonic. You know what? Our new best friend, what was his name? Trash Can Waves, Donovan. Donovan was saying the same thing last night. Donovan was like, let's talk about it. But I didn't want to get off on that tangent because I really wanted to respect the family and the people that were lost and just really stay on the news. But we will be talking about it. I know they're not handed. Listen, you know what? At this point, I wouldn't put it past these people. Oh, wait, we got police chief back. Hold on. Let's see what he's talking about. Oh, we're doing a general question. So let's go to that. And then I'll go back to my commentary. Y'all know how it is.
What we are saying is we're not taking anything off the table.
Nothing.
Everything is on. Everything will be considered. Everything will be taken into account.
Uh-huh.
Until we look at medical information, talk to those who are hospitalized, talk to witnesses. We know that NORCAM West was provided.
Wow.
We're going to take a look at everything.
Y'all hear that, right?
One at a time. What?
We were on level red of risk for COVID-19. So, in first place, why did you guys authorize an event with thousands of people under these circumstances?
Well, bear in mind, we just hosted the World Series in the city of Houston. There were a lot of people there. This was an event that was outside as well.
He said, "Don't at me with that." Did you see his face?
The majority of officers are going to be inside the complex. Yeah. We'll give it to you. We'll get it to you. Yes. Yeah.
I have good Wi-Fi friends. I think that there's just a lot of people placing demand on this website.
Let me add something here. So we have some
Look at the smile.
Numbers here, and Chief will add what he receives later, but it is in the hundreds. So in 2019, what I have is there was 409 event security, 30 armed private security, and 47 Houston Police Department officers. In 2021, 47. In 2021, 505 event security, 91 armed private security, and 76 Houston Police Department officers. As to the question on the COVID, remember, our authority was stripped many months ago. And so we can't even require masks in Texas. So, yes, go ahead.
Oh, come on now. She said, "Don't at me."
Right now we have that one, and we're going to move around. I know it's a whole lot of questions. Who's next? Go ahead.
Okay, so my question is, whose responsibility was it to shut down the concert when a mass marching incident was established? And then was it the promoters, the fire marshal? And then at that point, why was it not stopped sooner? There's about a 30 to 40 minute gap.
You cannot just close when you got 50,000 and over 50,000 individuals. Okay, you have to worry about riots.
Yeah.
When you have a group that's young,
right?
I think that time that I gave you from like just a little bit after 9:30 to 10 minutes after 10 to get that closed down.
Right.
And there was a cooperation and discussion between promoters, our fire department, the police department, and NRG officials. So I think that part was pretty good.
Okay.
We'll.
She said you will not be telling.
We'll verify the numbers. That's the numbers that the time I meant to say that I'm giving, and definitely in front of everybody. We want to be transparent and truthful.
Okay.
We'll check that time. But let me tell you. Let me finish because this is important.
Okay.
If it was one more concert songs mostly, it's a minute or two, so it's not significant. I think the significant thing is that we shut it down. Thank you. Next question.
Boy, they're going to destroy that narrative.
Go ahead. Can you just a little bit? I'm sorry. I don't have that information right now. We're still trying. That was just interviews from an investigator of the medical staff. We're still trying to locate that particular security officer. Okay. We don't have all that information, and that's something that I don't want to speculate on.
Okay.
It's very important, and I said I wanted to be respectful
of
those families. I don't want to go any deeper on that until we get some facts from the medical autopsies and toxicology reports as well.
Okay.
Chief, we're hearing that a 10-year-old is in critical condition right now. Is that correct?
That's what we have. Yes. Yes.
Wow. So another 10-year-old is critical. One's already passed.
EMS.
Wow.
Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, the venue, the medical component was being met by a private third-party contractor.
Okay.
They had doctors on scene. They had medical EMTs. They had volunteers. For a non-event, it would have been enough. But when the event started to escalate, we had to come in and augment their assistance, okay, their deployment. I can't say enough about the men and women of the Houston Fire Department. We went ahead and pre-planned, right, in anticipation for a contingency. That's the reason why we had units deployed around the perimeter and we're able to respond so quickly. Again, it's 50,000 people, right? For a non-event, it would have been gone off. It's happened in the past. Yes, we had 62 units that responded to this. We had, at some point, we had over 20 ambulances that were pre-positioned and ready to transport in our triage and treatment transport or area. Again, the coordination by the men and women of the Houston Fire Department on scene after the incident occurred and escalated was very robust. It was on point. I'm very proud of the work that they did.
Okay.
But certainly, we've been here before. Okay. We ensure that we're planning for a contingency, right? And in a non-event, again, this would have been just another normal major concert. But unfortunately, it escalated. That's what we're going to key in on. We're going to focus on what led that crowd to start to surge and what were the issues behind that. Oh, I do, but I don't know that number. I'll get to that number. I'm sorry.
Well, number one, we want to make sure that all the family members are aware. Now, 6 of the 8 family members have been notified already. 2 have not. So we want to be very, very careful with that.
I understand that.
I have not met with them. Not at this time. So, Judge.
We spoke to some families last night, but at that point we didn't know whether their person, what was going to be the outcome of the person they were looking for.
They hadn't.
What is key is the autopsies are being conducted.
Okay.
So we have to wait until those results get back. What our forensic sciences director was saying, some of the toxicology report they can do even without the body. So they'll release that.
Okay.
And then we are still trying to identify the 8th person. We know it's it's a male, but we don't know who it is.
Wow.
And there is another person's been identified, but we don't know. We haven't found the family yet.
Wow.
So until we have that, obviously we can't release all the information.
No, I understand.
You want to respond? The capacity, you said 200,000, but we limited to a quarter.
Can you repeat your question, please? Again, there is no outdoor venue capacity. What we did is we applied the internal assembly fire code.
Okay.
And did the calculation based on that. It's very conservative. The capacity based on the footprint that was going to be used, they could have had over 200,000. No. What I'm saying is that that's based on the math, based on the assembly fire code calculation. They could have theoretically had over 200,000 people, but it was limited to 50,000, and we verified that based on or we try to get assurance of that based on the number of ticket sales.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Again, look, it was a wide open venue.
Okay.
The plan included 2 separate stages to try to subdivide those crowds. But again, it was a crowd control at the point of the stage.
Okay.
That was the issue.
The problem.
That caused the issue.
Exactly.
Especially as the crowd started to surge up towards the stage. So that's what we're going to be keying on in regards to the investigation. Yes, ma'am. Hold on. Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
A lot of talking.
Right. Right.
And trying to get through the crowd. So my question is, did they have enough, even life-saving drugs like Narcan and also other types of equipment to administer right then and there on site, or additional ambulances needed to come in? And then I just wanted to pull that with, we also saw them struggling to get through the crowd. Was it part of the contingency plan to have security, maybe possibly some of the people are trying to help?
So let me answer your first question first. All our units are completely equipped with all the life safety and life-saving equipment. They all have defibrillators. They all have AEDs at least, even the first response vehicles. So from our perspective, from the Houston Fire Department's perspective, we had the right equipment. I can't speak about the equipment that the third-party medical component had. I can't speak to that right now. But certainly, when we responded with fully equipped and prepared to assist. There is always an issue with access into these crowds, especially when there is a surge. We depend on and we work collaboratively with the HPD and the security forces or the security components that are there to ensure that we can gain access. But it's always an issue in these large events.
Let's get a few people that hadn't had an opportunity to ask any questions. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
At the seventh stage, when this event had not even begun, there was a breach of Berrien and security units that was set up to check the people. At that point, if you had those many security people on site, why didn't they put that into consideration and try to see how we could mitigate all this stuff?
Yeah. That's one question.
Yes, this is live.
Yeah. Okay. Look, there are breaches. There are major breaches that shut down a program, a concert in this thing. That wasn't a major breach to me, okay? It was something that we quickly got under control.
Very serious.
Do we like any breaches? No, we don't. But that's part of the whole reviewing process and us learning something from this incident. Just as the mayor said, we're not going to cover up anything. We want to look at everything that we did right, but more importantly, what was done wrong. Learn from it and move forward and continue to pray for these family members. One more question. He hadn't had one. Yep. Go ahead. Sorry. I'll get you.
The barricades that were placed there prevented them from being able to get out quickly. I don't know if that's one of the things we're going to be looking at. Whether
that's not true. What I saw people get out. There wasn't a problem with that. And let me say we'll look at it. But I haven't heard that, Chief. I don't know if you have. Yeah.
Of course he hadn't heard of it.
No, right now, this is still in its infancy as far as the investigation.
Yes.
I know that the means of egress, the doors to get in and out of that venue, that was not an issue.
Okay.
You're talking about within the so we're going to look at that as far as the design, whether the design was adhered to in regards to the layout, to the plan that was submitted. So all those things will be part of the investigation.
Yeah.
There are videos of people climbing up on stage to try to stop the argument.
Now, you know, girl, he not going to listen to you about that.
Are those people going to be questioned or held culpable, or can they be? Is it a matter of that time?
That's a part of it. And you know, when we grab the video, if we see somebody that did something dangerous and broke the law or something, that's going to be something that we're going to address. But again, we don't get the video until sometime this evening or on tonight. They promised us that. And once we get that and we have some time to go through it, at a later date, we'll update everybody. Absolutely. Go ahead.
Let me. Say it again. I'm sorry.
She says with the narcotics again.
I think it's way too early for that.
Right.
We recognize we're not going to be able to answer everybody's questions right now.
Okay.
This remains a very active investigation. There are a lot of questions that still need to be answered. There are a lot of people that we need to talk to, security plans that we need to kind of thoroughly review in detail, talking with people from Live Nation, waiting on the medical reports. That will tell us a great deal.
Yep.
And at the same time, we want to be very, very sensitive to the families. When we're talking about people who are 14, 16,
21,
23, 27.
Those babies.
And look, that's painful on any front. So we want to be very, very sensitive to that.
Absolutely.
It is important for the community to know that anytime you're invited to a venue, you know, it is certainly everybody's responsibility to do everything that we can to keep them safe. And that's what we want to thoroughly review. So recognize there will be a number of questions. We're not going to be able to answer them all right now.
Okay.
Just know this whole process continues. Thank you all so very, very much. And pray for those who are in the hospital, and then pray for the family members who have lost loved ones.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll catch you guys up if you're just joining in. But let's see them walk away, because that's also the fun part. Okay. There you go. So, good afternoon, my friends. It is approximately 2:07 here on the West Coast, and I had to continue and give you guys a live update on the tragedy in Houston. Tragedy, why? Because it is being reported that up to 8 people have died as a result of various injuries that have not been confirmed. So the press conference that we just saw, they are not able or not willing to kind of confirm how the people have died. But I've seen video. I covered it last night. So let me rewind a little bit. Let me rewind just a teensy bit. So last night, I was hearing rumors about this situation, and no major news media were covering it. So I was like, okay, should I go live? Should I report it? Should I not? So I just jumped on live, and we were looking around. And then next thing you know, they had a live, we started seeing footage. And then, so the point is, check out last night. We were live and we were uncovering it. But the best part about last night was there were eyewitness reports in my chat. Okay. There were people that were there. There were people that had relatives that worked at Astroworld for security. There was also people that attended a previous Astroworld and was like, yep, this sounds about right, because this is what happened when I went. So let's go over some things that we heard. Okay. That was a lot. And I can tell they seemed not just as stressed, but not as stressed as they did last night. Last night, I knew that this was a nightmare. Let me know if you heard what I heard. In the beginning, all I heard was, do not try to blame security. We see the rumors of y'all trying to blame security. And guess what? There were 528 officers still on duty. And then Live Nation supplied 755 security officers. That's what I heard. I was like, no, you're not going to, they were like, no, you're not going to blame us for this. They very much opened the conference with just letting everybody know, basically, you're not going to pin that on us. And so that leaves that part out. The other thing that was interesting is there was a rumor last night of some things being laced, people being injected, people passing out, just almost like, you know, like, wow, that person's passing out, to the point where it's being reported that, like I said, Travis Scott couldn't even go finish his set for stopping and asking for people to give aid to someone that had passed out. They said it just looked like, oh, people are passing out. So the police chief just confirmed that, yes, there was one of their medical professionals was going to assist someone else, and he got injected. Okay. And he passed out, and they had to give aid to him. So that's at least one incident that we just heard about from the police chief. So there's a lot of moving pieces to this situation. The other thing is this element of a stampede happening. Allegedly, you know, first of all, we saw the video. We saw the coverage of the people storming the gates to get in and stuff like that. But on top of that, it appears, as the police chief said, they were storming the stage. And we knew that last night. We did talk about that last night. So that's something that's interesting. I'm not listening to y'all because y'all playing. Y'all talking. You're going to distract me. So let's see what Travis Scott said. Because like I said, the Travis Scott came out with a statement, and I caught a little bit of it. So let's see. Travis Scott, what did he say? So if you're tuning in live, this is what I'm talking about. Of course. Oh yeah. So TMZ is already reporting on it. TMZ says security guard pricked in the neck with the needle, says Houston Police Department. So here we go. The fire chief spoke on it, and yeah, he talked about it. So that's what TMZ watched the same thing I just watched, pretty much. So we're still on the fact that it's 8 victims, and that's what they are saying. You know, that hasn't changed from last night. Let's see if I can find what the statement was said, because I also found, you know, of course, it's the next day. So people are able to come and go live and pretty much they're reporting what it felt like. And I'm reading, it was like hell. It was horrible. It was like a sacrifice. There's a whole lot of things that are swirling and being talked about and described about this place in this this incident. So anyway, so here's an account. People started to fall out, become unconscious, and it created additional panic. So again, just like I just said, the concert goers were there and they were already rushing the stage, but then you have this element of people just passing out. Okay. And so a lot of people were like, okay, was this the result of the pyrotechnics, or was this the jabs? We don't know. Child, no big deal. Let me spray my hands. Y'all don't know that about me, but I am a little germaphobe. But anyway, what did Adrian say? These people out here running amok in the streets like we are not in the middle of a panini. I don't understand it. Listen, moving and shaking. Von's like, it's all right. It's all right. It is all right. It's part of live television. It is what it is. I'm so sorry. Don't be sorry. I'm glad you said something, because I didn't even notice, because I didn't feel nothing. But like I said, it definitely is dry skin, because you saw how I'm like, get off of there. It was my skin. I overcovered for you. It's just her nose. Exactly. It's just my nose. Listen. Thank you. It was just my nose. Natasha says, oh my gosh, Lee will never live that down. That and strangling women, allegedly. I know, right? And he just sat there and he was just like, it's not mine. And I'm like, no, not me. I got a mirror close by at all times. That is so funny. I like that. You need someone that's going to tell you to clear your right nostril. I'm here for that. Vaughn, I rocks with you. Okay. Come on now. Listen, if you don't have somebody in your corner to say, you got some food in your teeth, because somebody will let you do it. Or girl, you got tissue falling on the back of your, or don't wear that. That is not whatever. Or clear your nose. Are they really rocking with you? So I appreciate it 100%. Shout out to you, Vaughn. So anyway, back to this breaking news. They probably like, what? He says he's allergic to marriage. No, you're not. You'll be there. Dry skin. People calm down. Got a boogie right now. Pick it. You so silly. And you take me there with you. Evening from the UK. Glad I found your channel. Hey, Leah L. Ebsworth. How are you doing this afternoon? I didn't want to say anything, but nobody else did. I feel so bad now. Why? No, it literally was not a booger. It was dry skin on my nose. And but even if it was a boogie, I would want to know. You are absolutely fine. Well, y'all, I can tell her to clear her right nostril. I'll tell her when the clip is ready. Oh Lord, help me. Oh no. Let me set up my soundboard. Boom, 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 boom. Because I'm about to get it. Let me get it. Oh no. She said, yeah, y'all can tell her about that, but I got that for a clip though. But okay. Y'all, we can't stay focused for nothing on this channel. But anyway, friends. So that's the breaking news. Okay, we good now. So I have this whole routine before I go live. I was not able to do that because, okay, we'll see you, Adrian. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for all your help last night. You were definitely a help last night to kind of give me the right words to say as far as the legalities of all of this stuff. Shout outs to you, girl. Thanks. I thought it was lighting like lead attorney, so didn't say anything. You know those cameras aren't made for melanin. They really are not. Because some days I come on here and I look yellow as heck. And then the next day come on, it's just horrible. It's horrible. But he didn't even check. He didn't see. That was my thing with him. I'm like, bruh, go check. Because it did look like it. No, but it was a little piece of dry skin on there. Come back. So I can't. So anyway, this is a mess, y'all. But one thing, like I said, one thing I did hear in the process of all of this, the police chief and everybody else, they were like, you're not going to blame security. You can blame a lot of stuff. You can blame a lot of stuff, but you're not going to be blaming security. He gave us the numbers. I had to write it down. I said, well, if they're giving numbers like that off the bat, that's telling you right there, you will not blame them. So that's that. One thing let's see. Travis Scott is said to, he did a statement. He said, "I am absolutely devastated by the Astroworld tragedy. My prayers go out to the families and all those impacted by what happened at Astroworld Festival. Houston Police Department has my total support as they continue to look at the tragic loss of life. I am committed to working together with the Houston community to heal and support the families in need. Thank you to the Houston Police Department, Fire Department, and NRG Park for their immediate response. Love you all." So that's Travis Scott, okay? And so he finally came out and issued a statement with that. Will be interesting to hear the lab exactly, Tanya. It's going to be interesting.